Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 6th gen iPad. This was the iPad that Apple announced at its educational event back in March, and I gotta say, I'm pretty surprised by it. Now, I personally haven't owned an iPad since the first one came out, and I was definitely due for an upgrade. Now, I don't feel like I ever really needed an iPad because there was never really anything in my life that I really used it for. But ever since grabbing one, I've actually found quite a few cases of use. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's actually start with the design. So, once again, you're talking to someone who's only ever owned the 1st gen iPad. So I gotta say, I'm really liking the new design. It's super thin, it's all aluminum build, and the front glass is very, very nice. Now, I will say this, I have heard that this is the exact same design that they had last year, so you're not gonna be getting anything new with this one, but for me, I love it. Now, I do want to mention that Touch ID is on board here, so no gesture interface like on the iPhone 10, and it does have its front and rear facing cameras, which are not really of mention. The rear, I believe, is an 8 megapixel, and the front is a 1.2 megapixel, but I don't plan on taking photos with this thing. On the screen side of things, there is something of note, and that is that there is an air gap between the screen and the front glass, which actually caught me a little bit off guard because I haven't seen something like that on a device in quite a while. It's nothing super duper noticeable, and it kind of fades into the background as you start to use the device, but when you first boot it up and turn it on, it is definitely there and noticeable. Now, the screen itself is a 9.7 inch across the diagonal, and that is a 2153 by 1593. I probably completely threw that off. I'll leave the specs right here for you guys so you can see it. It's an IPS panel, and it does dip some pretty good colors, but I'm super spoiled by my iPhone 10. It's not as good as the screen that's on that device, but it definitely is passable, and I love the size because it's great for consuming content. Which actually brings me perfectly into my next point. I bought this iPad for some very specific reasons, and I was actually going to be using this as my main filmmaking kit device that I carry around with me. As of right now, I don't have a laptop, and I plan on getting one in the near future. But what I really wanted to use this iPad for was things like setting up my shots, setting up my scripts, using it as a pseudo field monitor so that when I'm filming myself, I can make sure myself is in focus, stuff like that. There's a couple other things that I really wanted to use it for. Say I'm in bed with my fiance and we want to watch some Netflix. We can cozy on up, watch a show, watch some YouTube. It's really, really good for these types of things. Now, from a performance standpoint, this does have the Apple A10 chip on board, so it's definitely an upgrade from last year. And it is actually really good on the performance side of things. It's super snappy. I didn't notice any noticeable lag, and I really liked it in game. So I was playing like Super Hexagon and a little bit of Fortnite. I suck at Fortnite, but it definitely handles its own when it comes to games. As for battery life, it's pretty darn good. I was very easily able to get through a full day of use and even into the next day if I used it very lightly, so you're not gonna have to worry about topping up midday. And the very best thing about this iPad has to be the price. It's only $329. That is super inexpensive, and you'll be hard pressed to find a better tablet out there for that price point. So if you're in the market for a tablet and you don't want to spend a ton of money, this might be the best bet for you. Also, something of note, which I didn't have on hand to test, is that this does actually have Apple Pencil support, so just like the iPad Pro, you can now do that on the regular iPad as well. So if you're not looking for a full desktop replacement, this might be the best option for you. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button down below. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about what we talked about today, feel free to ask it in the comment section. You could also ask me any questions on Twitter at Screenbite. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.